Hey guys, welcome back to our channel,
Plots with a Twist.
We discuss books
amongst other things, and we are back with our wrap up
and to be read.
I was gonna say you gonna read do some TBR.
Let me just get it out the way now, you guys. I live a busy life, okay? I'm in school. I work 2 jobs. I have a healthy social life. It's just a lot. So I have felt behind. I do. I mean, I'm doing stuff for the most part. Not like crazy, but
outside.
Not for real. But I just
you ain't that
have
outside.
Fallen,
that's what Beyonce said.
Right. I just have fallen behind on my books and things, and it's really school and work. This I'm starting a new position, and it's really taking me through there. So once I get back into my routine, back to my life, I will have all the books read. I'm still reading, but it's just nowhere near the capacity where I should be and where I was reading. I started off the year good momentum, but y'all gotta check me next month.
I told her she gotta put TikTok down. She gotta put all these little shows down.
But that's not the reason I'm not
Law
reading.
and Order.
It's just,
because you can be reading when you instead of watching that show.
I need to
be reading instead of scrolling.
I need to decompress.
That's a form of decompression.
It is, but I feel like reading is like, you know what it is? It's like if I'm gonna decompress with a book, especially since I don't have a book right now that I'm like in the middle of, or like it has to be already good and already going, or it's just gonna feel like a chore to me, like another mental thing I need to do. I don't need no mental capacity to watch Law and Order, so it's just like.
Well, I've been reading, so we will talk about it. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna ask questions since I don't have nothing to talk about. I'm just asking you questions about all your
books. So, boom. I read nothing, A Love Story for Ricki Wilde by Tia Williams.
Okay, thoughts? Oh, I'll tell the people what it's about first, I guess.
I'll let. I gotta do better.
Okay.
I gotta get my notes together.
First question is to get out the way. Which one do you prefer? 7 Days in June or this one?
7 Days in June.
Okay, all right, now go.
For sure. But okay, so this is the story of Ricki Wilde. Ricki is part of an affluent family. She's the youngest daughter of 4 girls, and her family owns a branch or a chain. I don't know if it's called a chain when it's funeral homes, but they are around the nation, and they live in Atlanta. So she's really kind of like the family screw up, where she really hasn't ever fallen in line, never followed any plans they set out for her, kind of like the black sheep of the family. So during the family dinner, they have a dinner where everybody provides their updates on their ventures. Everybody works for the family business. Ricki then presents her business plan to follow her passion, which is open a flower shop. She has a social media following with her flower arrangements, and really just has poured into that and really good at it, to the point where she started to get like income from that. And of course her family scoffs and laughs at her, but her dad has a soft spot for her and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna necessarily support you financially. You can go ahead and turn in your resignation, but basically I'm not gonna knock what you like. Do it. Let's see what you got going. And so she on some of her final days, she encounters this old woman. The woman has a brownstone in Harlem, and Ricki has always had a soft spot for Harlem, and then just chooses to go ahead and uproot her life and move to Harlem to open up her dream I was gonna say fantasy shop, flower shop. So yeah, but basically on one February night, as she's getting her business together, one February night she goes to this garden and encounters this mysterious man, and from there she cannot get him off her mind, and it just disrupts everything she has going on. And I think that's all the synopsis says, so I'll stop it right there. Okay, so yes, I did prefer 7 Days in June more, because I don't know, I was just a little weary going into the book already, just because I read 7 Days in June, then I read, I was gonna say Accidental Diva, but The Perfect Find, and I don't know, like I had somewhat high expectations, but I don't know, I don't know how I was really feeling overall. I guess weary. And Yeah, when I started reading the story, I was intrigued by Ricki's character, but then it started to have this other story intertwined of a different perspective from the past. And I'm like, okay,
Who's past? Her past?
No. So, again, it's not in the synopsis, so I don't really want to say. I mean, it's a love story, but yeah. So I didn't know what was going on. Like, and so some of the things that starts to happen when she encounters the stranger and just their connection, they're oddly drawn to each other, and there ensues like this, you know, just this strong bond between them. I don't know, it just, as stuff was revealed, it kind of took me out a bit. The story does have some, it's listed on Goodreads, it has some magical realism, so I think that's what it was. I wasn't expecting that. I was just expecting, you know, a good love story, which it still was, but that kind of threw me off and took me a moment to like get into. Just because, not that I don't read that, it's just, again, I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, I think that just took a moment to overcome, but once I overcame that, it was really good. I do think she likes her fleeting love romances, and I don't think I'm a fleeting love story person.
You want to stick. You want to be solid.
Which, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but it's just like, I met you yesterday and now I'm in love with you. Like, she has those types of between 7 days in June and this, that's kind of, you know, this, oh, I love at first sight type thing. And I don't know if that's my thing, but overall I can enjoy them for what they are. It just, again, maybe it's the cynic in me, or maybe it's just the fact that it doesn't seem like super plausible. Sometimes that's like, okay, let's get through this. So I don't know, but overall it was good. I will say it was good. It came together in the end and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so next, are you gonna read a love story?
Yeah, of course. I'll read it whenever I can get my hands on it.
Okay. All right, so next I read The Yellow Wife by Sadeqa Johnson.
That's on my list too. Because I read House of Eve.
How was House of Eve?
I loved it.
Oh yeah, you've talked about it a couple of times now. So,
but this is the one that everybody said that they really liked too.
Really? Okay. Phoebe, it focuses on Phoebe. Phoebe was born on a plantation in the countryside of Virginia. She is technically a slave, but really has lived a somewhat sheltered life and really haven't experienced the true bowels of slavery. She is a mulatto. She is, you know,
why do you say it like that, mulatto?
I don't know. That's how they say it, I guess.
You listen to it?
Yeah, she is mixed race, and it becomes very apparent that she's the master's daughter. And so she's 17, or the story starts when she's 17, and she's promised a life of freedom. She's fair enough where she could potentially maybe pass for white. And so with that, her dad talked about how he's going to send her to a girls' school in the north so she can get her education, this, that, and the third. But the master's wife, of course, hates her because she's a representation of his, you know, infidelity with her mother. So through a string of events, Phoebe ends up getting assigned to the mistress while the master and her mom are away. And during that time, a few things happen where Phoebe offends the mistress of the house. She's also has a little love thing on the plantation, and they are trying to, like, he wants to run away and be with her, but of course it's like, no, I gotta wait for my mama to come back, and I gotta wait for my freedom. And so, but again, things happen, and just eventually Phoebe finds herself being sent off to jail to be sold off. But she catches the attention of the jailer when she is being, you know, kind of examined for the auction block. And for there, he claims her as his mistress.
The jailer does?
So she begins to live this life of his yellow wife and pretty much does what she needs to do to survive during this time. Yeah. Okay, so I don't even know why I read this. So, and I say that because slavery is not my thing. This type of book is not my thing,
Yeah, you should have
personally.
read House of Eve.
So when I was like, Kristen, why are you reading this? But with that being said, it wasn't like, it definitely was uncomfortable moments, but it wasn't like heavy on the like things that I associate with books that discuss slavery. It mainly focused on Phoebe and her journey. So yeah, I think if I could stomach it, it's not deeply one of those stories, but I definitely was like, this is not even something I normally would have picked up. And I questioned why I did. But I kept it going. I hung in there. So it just focused on her life and the dilemma she found herself in, and just kind of how she navigated in that time and in slavery. So it's meant to be a heroine story, but Phoebe, in my opinion, came across a little entitled. It's like, because she didn't experience, and I feel bad saying that, because it's like, because she didn't experience slavery, you know, in her plantation the same way as others, it created this character thing. I don't want to say it's a flaw, because it depends on how you view it, but it just, she just was like, she would stand up for herself in certain situations, but it's also like, girl, you're a slave. Like, no, they gonna beat you. Like, stop. So I don't know. At moments I found myself like, girl, chill. But I'm like, also, am I one of the people on the planet? Would I be one of the people? No, sit down.
Master gonna hear
right. So that's what it had me questioning a lot of internal things. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just, that's how it came across to me. I don't know if it's because of, I don't know, but she just came across a little.
That's interesting.
I know. Now I have to do like a self-analysis of myself. But basically, overall, it was a good story. I can see why people celebrate it or enjoy it, but I do feel the ending was rushed. I feel like once you got to certain moments, it was like she kept pinning herself in a corner, and then once she came up with this plan to do this very major thing that was definitely going to get her like killed or whatever, you wanted to see the result of that, and you saw that in an epilogue, but you don't actually see what directly happened after she made certain decisions. And so it just felt like rushed, and like, but the author was like, hey, I want to let y'all know some parts of what she did worked out, some parts of what she didn't, this, that, and the third. But it's like, I don't want to jump from here to here. I want to see what happened like in the middle. So that was the only thing. It was just like, I guess maybe the story felt like it was getting long. I don't know. But no,
that was it?
No, I lied.
I'm about to say what you meant.
And then I read one more. I read Legendborn by Tracy Deeon, I think. So that one I've been trying to read for a while, and I think I said I was wanted to read it in one of our videos. So I was just like, you know what? Why not now? I have some space and time. Let's go ahead. And so that focuses on Bree. Brianna is dealing with the loss of her mother due to a car accident. But she's 16, really gifted, really smart, and she's applied for early entry into a college in North Carolina, maybe University of North Carolina, I think, something like that.
It takes place like in today's time?
Yeah, well, whenever the book was written. Yeah. And so she ends up getting accepted to a program with her and her best friend. So she goes off, basically it's like early college. And so she goes off to do that shortly, like I said, shortly after her mom's death, just to kind of get away. And so she is still dealing with a lot of grief, a lot of anger from her death, and finds herself making careless decisions and impacting her best friend. And so she's assigned this mentor because they get into a bit of trouble. She's assigned this mentor, this second year mentor, to help her, Nick. And so Bree is immediately drawn to Nick, attracted to Nick. He's a little, cute, handsome little white boy, blonde hair, blue eyes. And yeah, they just hit it off immediately. But one night, rewind, when she's out getting in trouble, one night she starts to see things that she's never seen before. She sees this creature, and she sees two other students like basically killing the creature. And she starts to feel things. She starts to experience all these things that she eventually finds out is magic. So meets Nick, and then finds out he's connected to this magical world. So in the night that she goes out, they try to erase her memory. She breaks that somehow. She doesn't know how she breaks that spell. And then she starts to remember things from the night she was told her mother's died. So she realizes because he's connected to this magical world that they may have something to do with her mother's death. So they are the round table. So it's based on like the story and legend of Arthur and his round table, and they are the knights. And so they are called Legendborn because they can wield ether, they call it. But she's starting to experience things. She can see the ether, she can smell it, and she just doesn't know how and why. So in entering their world, she kind of devises a plan to kind of get deeper into their throes so she can figure out what was their connection to her mother's death and what is happening to her. So Bree annoyed me at first too. It was like, girl, because I think so I will say the story gave me that the author was trying to make space for, you know, Black characters, Black, strong, dynamic, young characters in a space of fantasy and magic, and especially talking about legends of like Arthur and things like that. So you could definitely sense that as you're reading. It does happen like in real time, in real world. So it does discuss things of like racism and stuff like that. Some of it felt a little like you don't have to make it a thing. But some of it felt like, okay, this would be a thing if this organization is mainly white, you know, and in North Carolina. So I got it, but sometimes it was put on a little thick for me. And again, maybe I need to sit with myself. But overall, I did enjoy the story. But yeah, Bree herself, initially, she kind of annoyed me because in the author's efforts to get her more rooted and connected to herself, she had some mentors and people introduced that were, you know, kind of could give her more insight on her mom. But it seemed like she kept running to it was like this, like the white savior. I don't know if that was intentional, but it just, that part annoyed me because it's like, I want to know the truth, but this person's about to tell me the truth, but I don't want to talk to you, and let me go run to this other people who you just warned me against. I don't know. It was moments like that where I was like, girl, what are you doing? But when I tell you, once I got to the end of this book, I was up at night and I was like, ooh, I do not want to play. It built up so well, and it got to a point where some of the things started to come together, and you realize why she had some of these abilities, who she was, this, that, and the third. And it was like, ooh, and it was action-packed and all this. Juicy. So it started getting juicy. So I will say it came together, and so much so that I'm reading the second book for the month of March.
How many books is in the series?
So far 2, but it's a third one coming out.
Okay.
But yeah, so I definitely see why people recommend it. But yeah.
Okay.
I think I did okay.
Well, I started to read Harry Potter.
Yes.
Got the first chapter down, and it's good. It's good so far. Prisoner of Azkaban. That's the book that I'm on.
That's the one that make you realize, oh,
it's going down. Okay.
This is real.
I also started Ace of Spades too, but both of them characters were getting on my nerves, and so I didn't finish it.
It's a young adult.
Yeah, I think it's that, and like the angsty, the girl. It was just a lot, but
yeah, maybe that's what it was with Bree, because it's young adult.
Yeah.
Like even this
old,
one
so
now.
It's like young adults be like teenagers. Like you be like, girl, please.
Life is gonna come at you, and you're gonna wish that you had that person on your side. So yeah. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about what we're reading in March. I don't think I have a TBR. Well, duh. So I'm reading Bloodmarked by Tracy Deeon. Again, that's the second book in the Legendborn series. So yeah, I've already started that. Literally stopped one, and I was like trying to give myself like something different, but I was like, who am I kidding? Let's just go ahead and, especially how it ended. I was just like, go ahead, run it on, and it literally starts where
the last
a couple of months, maybe like a month.
I like that. Like, don't give me a whole like, and then you have to go back.
Okay, I know we're not doing this is just our TBR, but she. Like, if you did not, I love it when an author, like, reminds you of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you did not, like, if it took you some time and you read the second one, like she was reminding you, yeah, this person I did this with. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't need that because I read them back to back, but I like when they, like, don't assume I remember, because I don't. But that's only one. What else you got?
I want to read this book called Divine Rivals. Have you seen that going around?
I read that.
Oh, you did? I don't remember. You read that?
I read it last year.
Oh, really?
Probably like around October, November.
You read the second book already?
No, that's gonna be on my TV.
Okay, but yeah, I just saw somebody made a TikTok about it, and I was like, I want to read that. It sounds good or whatever. I don't remember you talking about it. You must not liked it that much.
You know what happened is that it's amazing what you remember and the stuff you don't. On a TBR, I think I was doing a wrap up and I had started it, but I hadn't finished it. And so I was like, I'll come back with my thoughts. And then I moved on, and then I came back maybe a couple of wrap ups later, like, oh yeah, I read that. Okay. So I think that's why.
But yeah, that's on my list, of course, along with the to finish Harry Potter. So, and Prisoner of Azkaban is thick. I'm like,
oh, that ain't even as thick as one, girl.
For real? Oh,
they get thicker and thicker and thicker.
Oh my god.
I think one book gets thinner. I think the sixth book, or I might be making that up.
Yeah, because the first two weren't that like bad.
Oh no. They get thicker and thicker and thicker. I think the fifth book is dense. And then the sixth book maybe a little bit. It's 7 books.
I'll be reading this for years.
Once you get through this one, I promise you're gonna want to be like, you're gonna be like,
okay.
Because the first two are good.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's child's play. Let's show you what really is gonna happen, and you're like, oh,
okay, I'm getting there.
This better than Law and Order. No, I don't know about that.
Okay,
Okay, so what's the second one in the Divine Rivals? That's on my TBR.
Vows. I saw something.
Vows. I don't know, but I had it checked out with Libby, and I couldn't get to it, so I'm gonna have to recheck it out, or just get it on an Audible credit or something, or get it on
Ruthless Vows.
There you go, Ruthless Vows. So that's also gonna be, hopefully, let me write that down. I'm gonna forget.
All right.
What else you got?
That's really it. It's a bunch of books that I've started, like Ace of Spades. I do plan on finishing it, and then
just cause.
Yeah, because I started it, and they said it was good. And then I still need to read From Blood and Ash. That's still on I started that too, and didn't finish it.
So I'm debating if I want to read the Atlas Complex. I said March I might go ahead and just do some sequels. So I'm either going to do that, or I might do what's the second one in Rain of Wolves, Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Oh, yeah. I could do I could do The Darkness, The Other Side of Magic, whatever. I got options, but I am going to do I'm going to try to do another sequel in a series that I've started, because I'm trying to go ahead and get them out.
I was gonna say, it's Women's Month. We need to be reading Women's Book. But I feel like
those are all women.
A lot of stuff we read is by women authors anyway.
Yeah, so that's women. Yeah,
oh yeah, all mine are.
I'm good. I'm checked.
Right,
I'm good. Because I had thought about that, but we mostly read authors. Maybe we gotta challenge ourselves to read more men.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I was talking to my nephew, and he reads he is in college, but he reads all the like literature, like deep. Whatever. Is
Little Life, is Hannah,
what?
Is that a man or a woman?
I'm not sure. I think it's a man, but he told me to read that too. But he was like, it's just 800 pages of pain, and I was like, yeah, I'm not interested.
I want to read it because the synopsis looks so good.
They say the sense gonna have you crying. He said the first like half of it is really good, but then after that it's just like suffering, and it's like
yeah, because it's like 4 college friends or something like that, and then one of them goes through something, and
a lot.
I don't know, but I wrote that down. But we don't know if that's a woman or a man.
I don't know. I think it's a man.
We need to do some research.
But he's been reading a lot of John Steinbeck, and I was like, "You love him?" And he was like, "Yeah, I love that author." So I was like, "Okay."
At 20 something,
I'm like, he's really deep. He's like a really deep kid.
Okay.
A really deep, introspective
I guess we
kid.
gotta get some more men on our list,
And
but
like,
not this month. It's Women's History.
Yeah, right. And I feel like when you're young, you can you have more time to take that stuff in and think about it and analyze and
And then come 20 years later, be like, I read that book.
Right.
All right. Well, let us know because we didn't really have a firm TBR. So let us know if there's anything we need to go ahead and just tackle and read. Like this video, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll be back next time. Bye.